Hey everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. Excited you're here with me today. Before we get started, I just want to say that this video is being recorded live for Facebook. It will not be live after 5 o'clock on January 8th. It will actually be a recording on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, please know that it is a recording and commenting is not live, so I won't be responding to you live. I just want to make sure I say that so that people know. With that being said, good evening. I'm so excited that you're here with me, and I have really not done a Facebook Live in a long time, where it's like planned out and coordinated and I know what I'm going to do and all of that stuff. We are going to get back in the routine of doing Facebook Lives Wednesday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, just so you know, these videos being live at 5 o'clock in the evening mean that anything could happen. Dogs could bark, husband could walk in, kid could interrupt. And if it's quiet and peaceful through the whole thing, that'll be a miracle. So there's that. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to share a couple of things before we make our card. The Stampin monthly group begins January 20th, or I should say it ends. So until January 20th, you can sign up to get the 4 card kits, $20 in product. There's a surprise inside, videos and PDFs. You get to be part of an exclusive Facebook group. And there are a ton of giveaways. We do a lot of giveaways in this event. So if this is something you would be interested in being part of, it's $35. You can sign up at loveandstampin.com/classes and just click on Love and Stampin Monthly. You'll sign up and then I will send you a link to subscribe through PayPal. I also have a host code right now. I'll post it here after this runs. You can get a pack of the new champagne rhinestones free when you place a $50 order with me between now and January 20th using the current host code. So anyway, that's that. And then of course we have the awesome celebration promotion going on where you can get this little mini cutter for free along with this huge stack of designer series paper for free when you purchase the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit for $99. Plus you get to choose any stamp set you want for free and $125 in product. So those are really awesome deals to get your hands on. Tonight we are going to use the Outdoor Barbecue stamp set. I love this stamp set, and when I first saw it, of course, you think of everything manly. But I thought it would be fun to kind of make a Valentine's card out of it. So we're also going to do a fun die cutting technique, and I want to show you how to do that. I'm using the So Sweet stitched dies. I had to pause there and think about what I was saying. I've got the Gray Granite Stampin' Blends combo, Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and then I've already pre-stamped and heat embossed the sentiment because it's noisy and it kind of takes some time. So I went ahead and stamped and heat embossed this in advance. Okay, so Outdoor Barbecue, we're going to make a fun Z-fold card. I've got my paper trimmer here, which I love. And I'm going to score this at 2 1/8 and 5 1/2. 2 1/8 and 5 1/2. And this recording will be on my site tomorrow. So I'm folding it in half this way. And then I'm going to fold that front piece back. And I need my handy dandy bone folder. Gotta have my bone folder. So how are you guys? Those of you that are watching live, how have you been? How was your Christmas? Hopefully good. Okay, this piece was cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and it's going to go on the inside. I'm going to use snail adhesive. Hey Debbie, how are ya? Got lots of people hopping on here. Good to see you. Hey Deborah, I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Deborah is one of my helpers here in my studio. She helps me every time I have a paper party. She helps with club stuff. So she's a big help to me. This piece, I cannot remember the measurements. Of course, I have them written down and they will be on my blog tomorrow. This is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And it's going to go back here, tucked behind this little back fold flap. Then the front piece here is cut at, I want to say 2 1/8, but let's double check. 2 by 4 1/8. We miss you too. I know, Tona. So this is my new live time slot. So for those of you that are here and you don't normally get to join me live, this is the new time slot. So hopefully you'll get to join in more often. Okay, so here's the fun die cutting technique we're going to do. First, we're going to stamp our image. I'm going to use this barbecue and I'm going to color it. Okay, and then we're going to color it. So here's my guide for coloring on this particular image, but most any image. I'm going to use my darkest marker first to create all my shadows in my darkest areas. Stampin' Up! Has already kind of highlighted to us where we could put shadows and leave the other areas light to create the illusion that this is a shiny item. So I'm going to go in with my dark gray granite and just kind of like trace basically where it's the darkest with the shading. So it makes it super simple. Kind of trying to use a light touch there. Didn't work out in some of the areas. Okay, then I'm going to use my light marker and I know my Aussie friends can catch me live. So, by the way, prayers for Australia. My goodness, y'all are going through it. I just can't imagine. I mean, I have a little bit of a glimpse just because we get wildfires where I live, regularly in California, but nothing like what you guys have going on. So I feel almost embarrassed to even try to compare or say that I understand. But I do know that it's very scary and the smoke is horrendous. Yeah, when you wake up and there's ash on your car, it's scary. It's a scary thing. Okay, so that's it. We're done coloring him. And now I wanted to cut this part off, but obviously I don't want to cut it straight because I was afraid that that would look silly. So here's the trick. I first kind of like lined it up where I was going to want it, and then I flipped it over, and then very carefully kind of manipulate the already cut part down into the part that kind of like nestling it down into the die, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. So once I get it kind of like lined up how I want it, you got to keep it pinched really well. We're going to bring the Big Shot in. Let me grab some tape. I feel like that's not, there we go. Okay, and then put the tape down. And then we're gonna just run it through. Did it wiggle? I think it might have wiggled while it was in there. And then you have, oh, it did it. Yay. A square. Isn't that fun? So simple. So we're going to, and then you still have the stitching and the scallops. And then we're just going to add adhesive to half of this. I really like stretching my dies. That is Post-it tape. Yes, Post-it note tape. You can get it on Amazon. And then I've got my sentiment. As I told you, I did it on basic gray and I used white embossing powder and Versamark ink. And I'm just going to pop it up on the card front. Kind of off this edge a little. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on a second die cut. This is a Whisper White. And I'm going to hold this front part shut. I'm going to line this up. The adhesive's on the back. I'm going to line this up and then smash the whole thing down. So when you open it, you have your rectangle in the center. Now, I know it's not centered, and if that bothers you, I get it. So here's what I would do. I would just cut a second one of these so that you have a square. It doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, then do that to make it better. So this is the other one. So I thought these were fun. I thought you could use them as a Valentine's card for a fella or a friend, like if you wanted to invite them over for a barbecue or something, or I don't know, could be cute. So I wanted to show you really quick. Today I got some Happy Mail. I got this from my friend Sandra, who constantly sends me little lovey goodies in the mail. She just is the best. So she recently went to New York with her team member Lee and her friend Lee, and they are on my team. They're both on my team. I haven't even opened this yet. But she got me a notebook recently in Amsterdam and sent it to me. And now I'm getting one from New York. She spoils me. But how cute is this? I was thinking I could keep it at my bedside. This is adorable. So I'm thinking I could keep this one at my bedside and use it to sketch ideas or thoughts that I have sometimes late at night before, you know, getting out of, or I don't want to get out of bed, but I don't want to forget what I thought. So anyway, that was her cute little gift to me. I got that today. And that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. So this is the card we made. The full instructions and this video will be available on my blog tomorrow in case you didn't catch all the measurements and stuff. And don't forget that my Love and Stampin' Monthly Club ends January 20th. The club doesn't end, just the open enrollment period ends January 20th, and then it won't be open again until February 1st. So if you're interested in purchasing this club, we would love to have you. There's a lot of really cute things that we've made and some fun giveaways. So I will see you guys next week. Wednesday night, 5 o'clock. We made it through this whole Facebook Live without anybody like making any noise or being crazy, and I consider it a success. Once I get in my new space, I plan on doing some chit-chatting and face-to-face stuff, so it's not just like make a card and be done. So we'll do that eventually, but I need to get in a place where I'm not going to get interrupted so that I don't get angry and lose my temper. Okay, I think you guys probably have had enough for me for the night. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will catch you next week live here, same place, same time. Bye.